excited about the opportunity. Happy for him as a brother outside of this football stuff. But I know offense has a great plan, and gotta take it to him. It's out there on the field, though. Even though I don't get to go against him, it's no brother stuff. But got to do what you have to do. So I'm sure he feels the same way. But I'm excited about the matchup.
Roquan, games like this, obviously physicality is a big part of this rivalry. I mean, I know you guys pride yourself on being one of the more physical defenses in the league. Are these the types of games, especially with these implications for division standings, are these the type of games you guys really look forward to?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love physicality, and I think when you ask each and every guy in this room, and I think throughout the evaluation process, what the Ravens do, they bring in physical guys. And yeah, I think the most physical team is going to win this game. Make no mistake about it. These guys are no fair dodging. They run the ball, they're coming right at you. I have a lot of respect for the running backs and the way they run the ball. But hey, it is what it is. So one man got to go down. Hey, I'm not going to be on that side.
Hey, Roquan, Zach talked about you guys having a film session this week, pretty real conversations in that film session. You know, what was that like, and just going through the process of looking at where you guys can improve and what you guys need to do as a team?
Yeah, no, I think it's crucial.
When you're preparing players, and maybe even just new players who haven't been part of this, how do you describe this rivalry in a way that maybe people from the outside don't really understand?
I think it's really just a tradition. I mean, you got two great organizations. I think two organizations that pride themselves on, winning football, playing really physical, and really no matter what the circumstances, going out there playing the best football possible. So you just tell them that you're going against another team that kind of thinks the way we think, from a standpoint of, we want to come in no matter who we got on our squad. We're going to come in, compete at the highest level, and it's going to be a physical football game.
In past years, there were guys on either side would talk. I mean, they would use the word hate when talking about each other. I mean, like Suggs would say, they wanted to kill Heinz Ward. I mean, do you feel like that's not really there the way that it maybe was in past generations?
I wouldn't say that. I just think you probably just can't say it out loud. Definitely. So I think that those still the rivalry is still there. Obviously, back then I feel like they played a lot more when the stakes were higher. But I think this year, I mean, this game right here for Sunday is going to be for first place in the division. So I think it's been a while that this game has actually, had the stakes this high in a long time. But I mean, we know how they feel about us. We know how we feel about. They know how we feel about them. It's respect at the end of the day. But it is what it is.
Zach, John mentioned earlier this week turning over every stone to try to find a fix for the defensive issues in the middle of the field or a pass defense. What's this week been like for you in trying to you get a big win, but obviously I imagine there's a lot to fix.
Oh, we had the weekend. We was up here, coaches, especially, Coach Harbs and the defensive coaches. We were in, man, just trying to go back through from day one, just all our teach tapes, all our coverage slides, and just see what details that might have got missed or what details you might need to tweak. Every year is different. So doing that, been grinding, got in with the players, had a real good film session starting on Tuesday, and then really just looking at everything, man, looking at what we're calling, what we're running, look at what we're asking the guys to execute, and just trying to figure out the best way to go out there and put the best product on the field. So it's definitely been a work in progress, not just this past week, but I feel like this week is really, amped up because time is clicking. The truth be told, it's only 7 weeks left in the season, and things are not where they need to be at. For especially in the pass defense area. So we've been working hard, coaches and players, to try to get this thing figured out.
I see Kyle back out there today. Just how optimistic are you guys for his availability on Sunday?
Shoot, man, I'm optimistic. It was good to see him out here, so I'm gonna continue to hold hope out. It'll be a big boost if he's out there for us Sunday. Obviously, we know what K-Ham means to us, so I hope to see him out there Sunday.
Zach, after the game the other day, Marlon Humphrey was candid and kind of self-critical about everything with the pass defense. How have you seen your approach with him this week? Has he specifically approached you, or what's the relationship there been, especially this week?
Yeah, the relationship is great. Me and Marlo got a great relationship. So we've had conversations right after the game, day after the game, leading up through all the, up to now. and I'm pretty sure the conversation will continue to happen. But Marlo, I mean, he's been himself, man. He's always been a leader. You know, he's been here. He's the longest tenured Raven on our defense, and he knows what the standard is. And obviously, we've fallen short of the standard multiple times this year. So you know, he's just like we talked about as coaches. We're leaving, you know, no stone unturned. He's doing that, and the players are doing that as well. So you know, seen great leadership out of Marlon. He's had a heck of a practice week. He's going hard. He's leading the way more by example. But you know, when he speaks up, you know, everybody's listening. So I'm proud of, you know, how he's leading us and trying to get this thing turned around.
Zach, he talked particularly about feeling like there was a disconnect between what happens during the week and then maybe what happens on Sunday. How do you address that in particular? You know, maybe feeling like everything is exactly where you want it on Friday, then maybe it isn't two days later. How do you go with that?
Yeah, I think the film session that we had it was just real good. It was just, you know, holding each other accountable and you know, having an open forum conversation. You know, what is the problem that when we go out there on game day, and it's not all the time, but certain plays that we feel like we've covered, or whatever the case may be, may not be getting, you know, done the way it needs to get done. And it's a combination of things. It's not just them. I asked them, what can I do better? Maybe I can, you know, cut out some things or whatever to make us lock in and focus better. So just open forum, open discussion, and that's what I think we continue to try and find and chase. So I'm excited. We've done some stuff this week. I'm excited to see it come to fruition on Sunday.
Zach, it seems like Nate Wiggins has played several good games in a row here, really kind of stacking. Where have you seen him make strides, and do you feel like he could be a guy that sees even more action?
Yeah, I mean, he's getting better. I think I just seen him more locked in on his technique and fundamentals. He's always had good technique and fundamentals, but you know, this National Football League, I think he recognized early on that you can't lax for 1 second. You can't lax for one play, because as soon as you lax, that's what happens when you know you get beat. So he's done a heck of a job coming in, working his butt off in practice, and it's been translating to the game.
Zach,
Hey,
with Trent.
Sorry.
With Trenton, he's played like 90% of the snaps the past 3 weeks. You know, where have you seen him grow the most this season, you know, in his first year as a starter?
Yeah, man, just understanding offenses, schemes, where there's blocking or route concepts. He's done a good job. He's a hard worker, like I've always stated. And with him, just with a lot of these young guys, just experience, man. He just needs experience to get out there, get adjusted to game speed, and to put himself in better positions. And that's what he's done. So he's continuing to get better every week, week by week, and we're pleased where he's at right now.
That film session that you mentioned, is that something you always do, or was that kind of something to take stock of where you are at this point of the season?
Oh no, it's something that we always do, but it was real good. I'll say that it was a real good conversations.
Zach, I hate to say this because you won, but when you left the stadium late Thursday night, how were you? Was frustration high with you?
Yeah, I was crushed. Honestly, I felt the same way that our players felt. I felt the same way Marlon felt, and you know, people tell us, you know, family, friends, people around the building, on staff, saying you got to enjoy the win, which I'm grateful for the win. We honestly, as a defense, we did enough to win that game, even though it was by the skin of the teeth. We did enough to win the game, so enjoyed it for 2 seconds. But man, we got in this building, man, the standard is high, and that's what we like. I know I like that. I'm a competitive person. For this defense, we have high expectations for ourselves, and we're real competitive. And when we don't go out there and perform the way that we feel like we should go perform, it hurts. And you know, I was hurt, man, honestly. So it took me a couple of days to you know, get over that and move forward. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm always grateful to win. That's the number one thing. We win, I'm gonna be good, but I always gotta look at how we perform on defense. And if it's not up to the standard, you know, I'm not gonna be happy too long after I celebrate the win.
Zach, is that a new feeling for you as when you were a player? Did you have games that, you know, you or your unit or your defense played poorly but got a win, and how did you handle it then versus how do you manage that now as a coach?
Me personally, I always been real self-critical of myself, and so even as a player, if we won the game, I feel like I didn't play good. I feel bad, you know. So as a coach, you got to kind of just, you know, I still share those same emotions, but as a coach, you know, you got to kind of you know, figure out and get yourself together and really understand the big picture of what needs to happen, because as a coach, you naturally are in a leadership position, and you know, players and other people around the building gonna see how you're gonna respond. So I think it's good to that they see your natural raw emotions, but then, you know, how are you going to respond? And we always talk about how you're going to respond. So I always look at it like, as a coach, how I'm going to respond. Am I going to sit there and pout and sulk, or I'm going to figure out and do something about it and try to continue to work and get better? So I think we continue to do the latter. I think that leads by example in a good way.
How soon were you back here in the office after that Thursday night game?
I was there next morning. next morning. Didn't sleep much, but I was here the next morning. So.
Zach, how do you envision Tre'Davious White fitting into your defense? I know he just got here last week, but how do you envision his role?
Man, he's done a good job. I mean, honestly, I've been surprised how fast he's picked up the playbook and the language and the terminology. I mean, obviously he's been an all-pro player. He's been a savvy player, a smart player. We've known that about him for a long time. But I was really impressed with him. He came in Monday maybe, and got in with our DB coaches and grinded out the playbook. And he's come out here and done a good day of practice. Like, I think every day of practice he's gotten better and better. So like today was real good. So we'll see Sunday. I have full confidence in him if he has to go out there and play good ball for us.
One more with Jonas.
What have you seen from George Pickens, especially with his partnership with Russell Wilson, and I guess how dangerous of a downfield threat has it become in this kind of new iteration of the offense?
Oh, it's real dangerous. I mean, he's been dangerous downfield threat since he's came into the league. We've known that as a rookie. I think he has the unique and crazy ability to judge the ball no matter where it's at, and then come down with it and get his feet in bounds and make these acrobatic catches. And then Russ has always been a threat with his deep ball throwing. So now you add those two guys together, shoot, it's explosiveness, it's dynamite, and we know that the ball is going, regardless of the coverage, regardless where you're at, you can be on them. The ball is going to go up to him at some point in time, and we're going to have to make those plays if we want to come out with a win on Sunday.
How do you like the elements? Do you like the elements? I requested inside. I don't know.
Yeah, we did too.
All right, what we got?
Todd, when you look at that defense, what are you seeing? Obviously, one of the better units, but you guys one of the better offenses right now.
Sure. I mean, they're really good across the board. Good up front, really active linebacker. Obviously, we know one of them, pretty well. So they're active. Minka's a very savvy, instinctual player. Elliott, they get around the line. Great blitzer, tough. Corners are really good cover guys. So real challenge, man. You can see that on film. And it's a staple of who they've been. Physical, play great defense. So it's going to be a real challenge for us.
They traded for Preston Smith. Alex Highsmith has been ruled out for this game. Just do you have to watch film from what he was doing at Green Bay? Do you just kind of see how he operates within their scheme? How do you kind of game plan for a guy that's been moved like that?
Well, we anticipate him and Herbig to play over there. He was playing over there before he got hurt. So we anticipate those guys will probably be rolling. We'll see how it goes. We did practice against Green Bay, so we do have some film against, Preston. So, and he's an outstanding football player. So we'll have to be ready for both of them. They're different players in some ways, both physical, but, again, they're built a little bit different.
Todd, what is the challenge when you've got, as you mentioned, Patrick Queen's over there now, and you guys have played there. What's the challenge for you from an offensive standpoint when there's that extra level of familiarity, I guess?
Oh, it's hard to really. It's different. I guess it's that way now in college, with guys in the portal and stuff. But back when I was there, you didn't have as many guys that might be on another team. You just kind of come to grips with that. Players are going to be, another team. What's the other outside linebacker's name that was here? That's there. He got claimed last year.
Jeremiah Moon.
Yeah, Jeremiah Moon's there with him. And then we got Tay with us at wideout. So it's just part of it. And they play us. We play each other twice a year. So I just know Patrick's a really good football player, and so that's the challenge with it itself more than anything else. He'll certainly know our personnel, and he'll know a little bit about what we do. Obviously, win against us all the time, but ultimately we're a little bit different than we were last year as well. So.
Todd, I think everybody sees T.J. Watt over there and the matchup coming with Roger. The layman says, "Hey, just give him extra. Give him an extra blocker every time." Can you explain why that it doesn't work like that?
It doesn't always work like that because some things they do defensively, you know, takes your protection rules off of that help at times. You know, most of the time, I don't care who you're playing, TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, Crosby, you're going to have extra protection for those guys. It doesn't matter that it's Roger, it's whoever that tackle is, because those guys are game wreckers. And that's why they get paid so much. I mean, that's why those guys get paid so much. And you're paid by the relative, you know, impact you have on a game. I mean, that's really what it is. So if you want to know who impacts the game the most, guys get paid the most. I mean, those are the guys, and that happens to be one of them. And, you know, it shows when he doesn't play, you know, the impact that he has. So we got a real challenge, as we did last year a couple of times.
What are you seeing from Deontay Johnson in terms of getting acclimated into the offense? And has it been a challenging time for him? I mean, comes in, gets traded in the middle of the week, and then a short game week after that to kind of, I guess, get his footing is what you're doing.
Yeah, Tate's doing great. You know, it's not easy for him. You know, you come in the middle of a season, and you're trying to get him up to speed of what is relevant now, what we're doing now, but that doesn't cover everything. Oh yeah, he's got to know 2 minute, you know, how we work that one. We got to be up on the ball and know both spots. Oh, we happen to check at the line. He's got to know all the signals. He's got to know everything else that we do. Oh, he's got to know multiple spots, you know, to be able to go in the game, to feel comfortable there. He's doing great. He's doing great. You know, we're going to continue to try and find ways to get him on the field, but we haven't really lost anybody. You know, we're doing pretty good with the guys we got. And I understand he wants to play. I get it. You know, the initial coming to us, being excited, great, that's awesome. But when am I going to get to play? You know, I mean, you know, so I get it. I'm not frustrated by. We would want all of our players to want to get on the field, and he just happens to be one of our really good players that we're going to continue to try to find ways to get on the field.
Todd, you have experience around every level of football. Do you believe in genuine rivalries at this level? And I mean, do you feel like it matters to the players?
I think when it comes to divisional rivalries, and I think depending on how far they go back or the meaning of them, sometimes it's one-sided rivalries where you get beat down so much it's a rivalry to you, but you've got the hell beat out of you for so long. The other team doesn't see it that way. It's not as much fun. But if it means a division, if it means winning a conference championship, if it means, you know, bragging rights in a lot of ways, or it goes back a little bit further, then sure. Then it does mean something. I hope it does to our players. I hope it does. It means trying to win the division. That's the first way to get in the tournament. First way to try to win a world championship. So, and we all won. We didn't play very good last year on the road. Gave that away. You know, they did a hell of a job, but we didn't play our best.
Pittsburgh's very good at stopping quarterback scrambles, also good at stopping quarterback design runs. Is it the same kind of skill set that applies in both cases?
Give that to me again.
They're very good at stopping design.
I was still
runs.
stuck on that. We gave that game away. It didn't leave me yet, so I was like, holy, can I just say that? All right, go ahead.
Very good at stopping quarterback scrambles, very good at stopping quarterback design runs. Is it the same kind of skill set that applies in both cases there?
Sure, I think it's, you know, being disciplined. I think that's the biggest thing. And when you play against a particular player a number of times, like we play each other, you know, we have our work cut out for us. They do a great job. Defensively, they do a great job understanding, you know, how we try to attack people, so we just got to do it better than they do it.
Todd, Keaton Mitchell, obviously, he's been able to return. I know you guys have Derrick Henry, been great for you guys in a rushing attack. How do you see yourself kind of implementing Keaton into that fold?
Similar to Tay, in the fact that, you know, trying to get him up to speed. You know, I think we're trying to get him even more involved in special teams, which is a good way to get him up to speed, to get him on the field. Trying to find spots where you can, you know, get him in the game. Where those are, we'll see, you know. But like I said, we're in a pretty good spot right now, so it's hard to really say whether it's him or Tay or whoever that might be, or Tylan Wallace, who's probably deserving of playing. Trying to find those spots where we can get those guys on the field and let their talent shine. And they've all done a great job, and I think they're all going to continue to get their opportunities.
practice. Really just trying to get our minds right, get our bodies right mentally, so we can go out there and execute on Sunday. Questions?
Chris, I think they've blocked more kicks and punts than any team in the league since 21. Do you have to look closer at your protections ahead of a week like this, or how much attention do you put on it?
I think you put the same amount of attention you put on weekly. Just as far as from a fundamental standpoint, these guys, they do a great job of just selling out on the play. They're going to try to find the weakness of the opponent. For us, it's taking a good look at ourselves, diving deep into kind of how they try to attack us in the past, and we end up working from there. But at the end of the day, those things happen a lot of the times because there's some breakdown in protection. So for us, is let's go out there, let's execute fundamentally, and let's be on point because we do understand that we're going to face a good rush.
Does Mitchell change the calculus at all on kick returns, given his speed and the ability to break a big one?
Obviously for us, man, just having him and Justice back there, it's actually a lot of value in kind of what we want to do and the things we want to get done. So just having Keaton back there last week, just on that play, just thinking back to last week, there was some opportunity there, and I think the more teams continue to give those two players opportunities to return the ball, we'll find ourselves on the good side of those returns from here on out.
Chris, another Justin Tucker miss. I don't know, can we talk about specifically what happened on that play? And when you have these misses, do you see trends, or do you take every single kick as its own separate thing?
Every kick's its own separate kick. When he goes out there, because every foot to ball contact, every snap to hold, you try to make those things as consistent as you possibly can. But I think even if you ask Justin, every kick is different. And his job, he's going to go out there, he's trying to make every kick. But specifically, just speaking on last week, I think if you ask him, he just tell you he didn't make good foot the ball with that one. And when those things happen, you get those misses. But again, man, he's in a good place. He's in a good place. He's going to be okay.
Chris, obviously they've got an aggressive special teams unit in all phases. Jeff mentioned the blocks. We saw them last week try the fake punt. I mean, is this the type of game where you feel like you guys have to be prepared kind of for anything on the special teams?
It's honestly, guys, it's no different than every week for us. We try to look at tendencies, and we take a good look at ourselves and see, okay, what are we doing a lot of, and then we try to change those things up. It's Pittsburgh week. Anything's expected, right? Those guys will go out there. We see this a lot in this trend. When we play these guys, they do things that they don't normally do against other opponents. So we'll be prepared for every and anything. It's our job to go out there and execute in that moment.
Chris, people are looking to the accuracy of Tucker before Sam Cook, with Sam Cook, and then after with Jordan Stout as his holder. Is there any merit to that, do you see, and that being a contributing factor to any accuracy issues?
I don't personally. I don't think. I know Randy is here every day. Sam's here every day. I mean, those are the guys that I'm leaning on to kind of be the judge of what's happening with Justin. So any outside information and things like that, I mean, it has no merit here because we got the best holder in the business here, and we got the best specialist coach, special teams coach here in the building helping Justin. So that stuff doesn't matter.
Coach, along those same lines, for your previous answer, you've been a part of this rivalry for the better part of a decade now. What is it about it that makes it so unique? Just being here for 10 seasons now. Honestly, when you walk in there and Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, it's football. It's like when you walk into an arena and it's like gladiators. It's two teams that are physically going to try to get after each other, play after play after play, and they won't stop until the other man is down. To me, that's football. That's what football has always been, and I think that's what makes it special. On top of, that at some point in the game, one of the phases is gonna make the play to either gain momentum, flip the momentum, stop momentum, or to win the game. And I think that's what makes this rivalry special from our standpoint. I mean, we've been on some good ends of making a lot of good plays, and that's what we're looking for on Sunday.
Chris, it's considered one of the more difficult places to kick, Pittsburgh Stadium. Have you found that over time, and how do you prepare for that?
I think over time we've found that, but we've also seen our kicker go out there and have great days and great nights in that stadium. So that's what we're looking forward to. Everything that we're thinking about, it's on the up and up. It's on the positive end. It's a new year. Everything is different, right? What happened last year and the previous years, none of that stuff matters. The only thing that matters is Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Chris, can you take any credit from Tylan Wallace's touchdown and receiving because you've coached him for special team stuff along those sidelines for years?
Oh, no, not at all, man. You know, I'm just excited for Tylan. Anytime that kid gets an opportunity, that guy he just goes crazy. So I just want to continue to see him just continue to keep developing, keep getting better, and that's all he does. He's such a hard worker, and he's just waiting for that moment, for that opportunity. He's making the most of it.